Hey everyone. So what I wanted to do today was to give you a step-by-step visual of what it looks like, those beginning steps of opening your own independent mortgage brokerage. And I've done other videos, if you've been on the channel, where we've talked about what the steps are. And I wanted to show it to you because I'm a visual girl. So I wanted to have it right in front of you so you can see these steps. I want you to have confidence that you can do this. You can open up a brokerage. You can do it with the help of our online course. You can do it with the help of our franchise, where we give you everything so you don't even have to create stuff yourself. So there are so many ways that you can get help now when you're looking to open up a mortgage brokerage. So let's look at these steps that we've gone over before. I'm going to pull it up on the screen and I'm going to walk you through 1 through 8 of these core, I like to call them phases or steps of opening your brokerage. So if you look at this map here that I created for you, you're going to be starting at that start point, like you're playing a game. And number 1 is you need to form a business entity. And I put RESPA compliant for any of you that are real estate in the real estate space and this is an add-on to your business. Make sure you have to work with an attorney who knows RESPA. And you have to make sure that everything is compliant with your other businesses. So form that entity because you're going to need those documents for applying for your mortgage broker company approval. You have to get those documents back from the state. They have to be stamped and signed when you submit them. So then let's jump now into number 1. Get your NMLS license. If you don't have your individual, you need to go take your 20 hours and you need to pass the test and get your individual license. And then if you do have your individual license already, then you're now moving into, okay, I need to get my company NMLS license. So I have an NMLS license as Megan Marsh. The company has an NMLS license that's different from mine. And then our branches each have an NMLS. So there are 3 different NMLS licenses and numbers, but you don't need any other tests. This is just an application and review of information by your governing body. In the state of Pennsylvania, where my home base is, that's the Department of Banking, the Pennsylvania Department of Banking. It can be called a little something different in each state. So you want to get those licenses by going and applying. And the way that you are going to do this is number 2 now is you need to identify your stakeholders. So when you form that business entity, you need to know who are the owners going to be, what percentage of ownership are you going to each have, who is the licensed loan originator, is it an owner or are you going to look for someone who has the license? What are, legally, if you have other partners, do you need a partnership agreement, an operating agreement? You need a CPA to be able to talk to you about the type of entity structure you're going to have, because that will affect how you get paid. As an owner of a mortgage brokerage, the compensation rules don't apply to you as much. You can pay yourself any number of ways. You don't need to have, if you're the only person in the brokerage, you don't have to have a comp agreement with yourself. So just something to keep in mind. Now, once you do that, you get your advice, you get that LLC filed, you now need to, as you're trying to go and submit your application for your company, there are these checklists that you will get. So you need to pull your state's checklist and start collecting and creating all the state requirements. So in case you can't see it well, because they are a little small, I apologize. It says over here in these little arrows below it, it says resume, personal financial statements, every state. Some states I've seen 20 items and I say, then there's some states that are like 3 or 4 items. And so you're going to collect all of those requirements and you're going to submit all of the entire list. You're going to submit that to your state regulator for company approval. And this is when you're going to also write a check to the state. Once again, each state's different with how much they charge to get your company license. I would say the lowest one I see is like $400 or $500. The highest ones are around $2,500. If you want, you can get a licensing company to help you. They'll charge you somewhere in the ballpark of $1,100, $1,200 to help you go through that checklist with you. Now, once you submit, in number 3 at the end, once you submit that company application, you're kind of in a holding pattern right now. There are states that we've even heard a year, 2 years, like New York. And some states are harder, but there are some states that get you approved in under 30 days if you do this correctly. So getting guidance can definitely be helpful. But while you're waiting, you don't just need to sit there. You can begin setting up your office and other accounts. You can't do anything that has to do with origination until your company's approved. So you could go open your bank accounts, apply for a credit card. You can get your QuickBooks, your bookkeeping stuff set up with the CPA that you picked out. You can get your CRM. You can get, if it's Outlook, Google, get all that stuff set up and ready so that as soon as you get your company approval, so I'd put 120 to 180 days. Like I said, I've seen it faster. Just don't want to over promise here. Once you get your company approval in number 5, now you're off to the races. Number 6 is about really moving. And so once you get those items done that I told you about while you're waiting, then move on and you could do other things. So you can interview lenders and banks that you think you want to sign up with and pick those 3 that once you're approved, you've got their paperwork already. They sent it to you, you've filled it out, and you're approved. The next day, you're submitting that application to those wholesale lenders. You're going to need to finalize getting the loan operating system that you're going to pick. And then once you get that loan operating system, you need to go and connect and create a DU account, an LP account. You need to get a login into the VA portals. You need to go and submit the paperwork for the wholesale lenders that you're going to be applying with. If you have other team members, you need to get them on board and get their paperwork. Your CPA can help you with that. If you are going to use contract processing, then you can choose a contract processor and give them access to the lenders that you're going to be using. And so really number 6 and 7 is that race, because you want to be able to move into number 8, where you want to start marketing and selling so that you can start closing loans. You want to get business, build a pipeline so that you can start making more money. And if you've worked in the retail space for years, you can earn up to 2.75%, 275 basis points per loan. I want to say our company averages around 2.5%. It all depends on your area. It all depends on the types of loans you're doing. If you're heavier on government loans, heavier on conventional loans, you've got your non-QM loans now. So it's all going to be based on your type of business. But there is help out there in the description below this video. I'm going to put a link in there to our core products that if you would like help from experts, industry veterans who've been doing this for 20 years, we have just for people who are becoming a mortgage broker, we have an online self-paced digital course where we're giving you all the advice from licensing all the way to picking your accounts, to opening your office, to your comp agreements, to onboarding and hiring a team, to marketing your business. It gives you a great foundation for an extremely reasonable price for what you get. That's our Mortgage Broker Fast Track course. If you want a little bit more help, and you want more hand-holding, then you want to check out our Collab lending franchise model, where you own the business, you hold the license. That's where the power is. If you don't hold your license, you don't have power. Your company could shut down and you will have no control, and you'll have to start this process. Get yourself in a model where you are the owner, but you still have help from a team, and you also are surrounded by other people who are doing this together. That's what Collab is all about. And we'd love to have you collaborate with us. We'd love to have you join us and be part of what we are doing. We're taking our power back as mortgage professionals, loan originators, and we're building equity and a legacy for our families, for our communities, for our team. And so if you want to know more about any of those options, click on the link in the description to check them out. There's also a link to schedule a discovery call where our team could go through those options in more detail with you. Hopefully this gave you a better idea of the things you're going to need to do to get your own mortgage brokerage open. You can do it. I promise you. I'm Megan Marsh, guys. I'll see you in the next video.